Welcome to Wednesday live stream. We're just starting. I host this live stream every Wednesday. Um, if you join from TikTok and YouTube, you'll be able to leave comments and questions. I'll try to answer many of them as much I can. So thank you so much for joining this live stream. We switched from Thursday to Wednesday. It's been more than a month. And then I hope to talk to you every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much for joining from TikTok, YouTube. Uh, not able to host Instagram at this point, but you can watch this later from uh, LinkedIn and Facebook as well. I'm sure that it's going live with the LinkedIn and then Facebook at the same time, but you're not able to post any questions. So we have a first question popping up on TikTok. I'll try to answer as many I can. So user 56, you apply for green card. You said March 25th of this year. You didn't get your work permit yet. Okay, so this is what's happening. So in terms of how long marriage green card case takes, it varies a little bit with where you live. Chicago super fast, right? Milwaukee super fast. 77ZZZ. I remember you got your green card. Congratulations. I talked to you previously. Congratulations. Now, so circling back, but now don't expect that you're going to get work permit, EAD, interview, and green card. It's like that's not the pattern because they schedule interview fast for you. User 56, your case taking long because our cases we file around that time, March of this year, they're already scheduled for interview. So, but hopefully they will schedule interview for you. I'm just curious which state you live. Yeah, so once again, okay, so you're from Texas. Well, Texas takes a little bit longer than Chicago, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. If you're in New York, California, Texas, Miami, it takes a little bit longer. But I think that, don't expect to get work permit first. They may schedule interview for you. So just, keep me posted. Yes, Lorraine, right, Garcia. I think that I talked to you previously. You're from Massachusetts, so thank you so much for joining from Massachusetts. As you know, the Massachusetts, all marriage green card cases, they have a separate interview. In all other posts, other consular posts, not the consular post, the USCIS field office, it's case by case. By the way, our lovely cat, Rosie, is sleeping. She's very happy and then taking the rest of the day she's taking extended nap. She's right next to me, so her name is Rosie, and then she's Scottish fold. Yeah, so then user 56 said, well, it's taking long. You've been waiting quite some time, sorry. We didn't have any issue, but we'll talk about these updates today. But this USCIS under Trump may be moving into more selective approval of work permit. It means that they used to approve work permit, but if you have a criminal records, right, certain criminal records, then they will issue the request for evidence. It's not automatic. It's not automatic. Nothing's automatic anymore, right? So Rila Tap Sujan, sorry, butchering your first name. Say hello, attorney. Yes. Just post your comments, and then I can try to answer. Well, the 777ZZZ comments is very common. So I don't know whether you enter with the visa overstay or not. It's been a while, but other than that, your green card application is approved. The first common sort of like line of thought is that I like to go back to my country. You may, but if you're conditional resident, it means that by the time that USCIS approve your case, you're married less than 2 years, then you may go to your country yourself. But when you come back, just good idea to come back with your U.S. citizen spouse, because the reason is that they wonder whether your relationship is real. So it's a good idea to come back with your spouse, okay, if possible. USA flag. What about N400 processing time? That is, yes, Unsuk-jeon, thank you so much for watching. And then leaving the comments. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this. And then you can see lovely Rosie, Scottish Fold, enjoying her day. But anyway, so this is perfect time to talk about USCIS updates. But didn't have to say that this, right? Usually start with this. We waited this much, and then a lot of you already joined. So thank you so much for joining. I'm Attorney Jae Francis. I'm a U.S. immigration lawyer based in Chicago and Wisconsin, but serve all 50 states. So we live under Trump. It means that there's updates every other day. I mean, it can be every day, every other day. It can be by the USCIS, it can be by the Supreme Court or by the president. Based upon information, this today, Wednesday, right? This ICE and military supposed to sort of, I mean, many people use different term. Some people say invasion. Some people say that it's a police action, whatever that is, supposed to happen today. But based upon Chicago Tribune, which is #1 local newspaper in Chicago, just reported this afternoon that it's not happening. Looks like Trump changed his mind. So what does it mean? It means that he's gonna send this ICE and military to a different city, or they're gonna start with the Chicago, but not now. I'm not sure, but it's not happening today. And then that's good news because Chicago politician from the top to the bottom, right? The governor, mayor, senators, and House representative. I mean, telling the Trump, we're not. We don't need it. We don't need it. So there's a clear message that we don't need this to happen, and that perhaps Trump listen. So that's one update. Now, Lalaine Garcia, being patient, so I'm gonna answer her question. So the question is this, okay? So she only has a passport. It means that she recently entered the U.S. It means that she doesn't have a social security number, right? And then how would you open a joint bank account? There is a list of the banks, right? It can be local, national, that they allow you to open up the bank account with a valid passport. You know what to do? Contact us, right? We would be happy to help your case. So, but that much I can tell you. Many banks will ask for social, but some banks, right? They will be able to open the bank account without social. Okay. So USA, I'm just a little bit behind about N400 processing time. So I'm gonna talk about this, right? The USCIS recently announced, right? I made a video about this. I'm gonna make long form YouTube video soon. That they're gonna strengthen a good moral character. So what do you mean? I mean, they review, right? That unless you are able to show that you are a person with a good moral character, then you're not gonna get certificate of naturalization, which is the document you get at the end of N400 application. Now, up until recently, that I don't have any criminal records, right? I pay all the taxes, right? Maybe I got divorced and I need to pay my child, but I'm not behind child support, all this, right? So it's like I don't have any negative, right? Negative sort of factors against me. But now, according to this new regulation, you need to show that there's a positive contributions and factors you have. So it's not sufficient not to have any negative factors. You need to show a positive factors. I'm going to talk about this more detail. Now, one thing you need to be aware is that this showing positive and then negative factors also apply to adjustment of the status. So in a way, N400 naturalization and then AOS adjustment of the status process became almost identical in terms of what you need to show. So for example, N400, you need to show that you're, active members of community, perhaps join the church, right? Community service. your soccer teacher, right? Or coach, sorry, you don't call yourself teacher, coach, or your children goes to school and you volunteer at your children's school. So all that, right? So you need to really show. If you're married and they have a children, that's plus, right? If you're working, plus. If you file tax return without any issue, plus. Now, this is a really important point. Some of you, right, married and then got married to U.S. citizen, and in the process of applying for marriage green card case or N400 naturalization, and then sometime, your U.S. citizen spouse say that, well, isn't it better to file marriage filing separately because I make a lot of money, you don't, or I go to school, I like to get maximized financial aids, or my children goes to school and then I like to maximize their financial aids. And then let's say we live together, we're legally married, but let's file marriage separately. Some U.S. citizen spouses will say that, well, I'm gonna file as head of household or even single. They're all incorrect. Even is considered tax fraud, criminal activity. This government may find you. Remember that one of the Federal Reserve Board, I just know her first name, Lisa, right? According to government, she lied on her mortgage application. So what I understand is that she applied for 2 mortgage application, and according to government, she indicated that both of them were her primary residency. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know whether it's true or not, but that's what the government is alleging against the Lisa. So, some of you apply for mortgage, maybe like, hey, we claim this one as a primary residency, even though it's investment property. Think again, right? The government may go after you. I mean, there's so many of them. So I'm gonna circle back to this. I don't wanna just like give you updates during the live, because the main purpose of this live stream is to answer your question. So I'll take a little bit of break. I'm gonna drink some water, okay? And I'm gonna start answering your questions, okay? Okay, so my answer, right? USA, you waited quite some time, and 400 cases will take longer. And that there's another reason why. So right now, once you submit, they will schedule an interview for you 3 to 6 months later. It's going to take longer soon. Okay, so I will tell you why. One of them is a good moral character, or new, strengthened, tougher, good moral character. Okay, I'm just reviewing this. So those of you who join this live stream for the first time, I use the computer for YouTube, and then I use iPad for TikTok. So I scroll with the fingers, and then okay, yeah. So then 777ZZZ. This is your day because your green card is approved. So you got 10 years. Good for you. So it's better. I mean, you don't really need to come back with your spouse, but to be careful. But 777ZZG informed that he enter with a visa overstay. So if you're a permanent resident, if you have a 10-year, it's better for you to go overseas than conditional residents who only have 2-year permanent residency. Okay. Now let me see. So Jess, right? So looks like your U.S. citizen spouse and your spouse in India, right? And then how long does it take for CR1, right? Looks like I'm assuming that you're U.S. citizen, not the permanent resident. So how long CR1, spouse visa takes? So in terms of NBC approval and then interview schedule, it's more than 6 months. But overall, all consular process cases take longer. K1, right? K1 fiance visa. Minimum 1 year up to 18 months. Spouse visa, minimum 18 months up to 2 years. Everything takes longer. If your spouse or family members, immediate family members, happen to live in Pakistan, 18 more months. Sorry, well, I'm not just like, just making up. That's what's happening. If your spouse and immediate family members live in Mexico, 1 more year. So then Pakistan, Mexico, Juarez, right? Islamabad in Pakistan and the Juarez in Mexico, cases take longer. But other side, other country, it's just what I told you, right, today. So that's my answer. Okay, thank you so much for sharing some of the virtual gifts. Okay. Okay, EB, you call it spouse visa, but I think that you're talking about marriage green card case in Chicago. We submit 30 to 60 days later, they schedule interview in Chicago. That's fast. Like, it's good to be in Illinois. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, just a little bit slower, but Chicago, super fast. So is it good that they schedule interview 30 to 60 days after you submit? Yes, if you have a good case. But let's say you enter without, you enter with a visa or ESTA recently, you got married to your US citizen spouse. You don't have a social, right? And then perhaps you're a US citizen spouse, homeowner, or living with the parents, or even renting out. Like, it's kind of hard to add you into lease agreement too. So what do? It's a challenging. So you need to work with very good, experienced attorney who will tell you how to develop your case, right? So it's all about developing your case, right? You follow the rule, be honest, complete, and try to document as much you can. And then it's all about developing your case, because I know that you guys love each other, right? When it comes to marriage green card case, but that's not sufficient, because it's all about supporting documents. You need to be accurate too. So you need to tell the truth. Okay. So that's my answer, EB. If you need attorney, right, just let us know. We're based in Chicago and Wisconsin. Okay. Now, okay. Relatap Sujan, once again, butchering your first name. Issue with the paying online, like what visa application? Like when they approve your case, you have an immigrant visa case, right? It's kind of we didn't have an issue. Sorry that you can. The situation is better. Okay, user 56. You say I'm really nice, lawyer. Yeah, I do my best, right? As you can see, I'm not perfect, right? I can be a little bit slow because just like you need to understand. Under Trump, we're trying to survive every single day. I added more people, attorneys. I do my best, but sometimes it's a challenging. And then it is one thing the government announced that you need to do this right now, but like, how do we implement new changes into what we do? So, I have, I will do my best, but one thing I will do my best more than ever is that I try to be courteous, professional, and nice to everyone, because that's what I like to do, right? I like to be peaceful myself, right? Peaceful. And I like to share my peace with you. And then that's why I try to make my videos and live stream certain way. So then, at least when you watch mine and then join this live, maybe you'll sort of my peace will be shared with you. So, I hope to make this one as like a peaceful time. I'm not dancing, okay? I'm not singing. I'm not good at any of this, but at least I can share what I know nicely, okay? So I will do my best. Doesn't mean that I know it all, right? But I will do my best. So thank you so much for your compliment. User 56. Okay, so let me drink some water, okay? As usual, I've been talking quite a bit today, so I need to take a little bit of water, okay? Yeah, so then melancholy. I like your spelling, melancholy. If you have a TPS AP entry, okay, so you're on TP and they went overseas and came back, okay, and then you have a removal order. Can you get a green card through marriage to U.S. citizen? Possibility, but that's something that you need to call us, right? You need to work with attorney. I'm sure that you work with immigration attorney. If you're not, get in touch with that attorney anymore. Let us know. Even though we're based in Chicago and Wisconsin, we will be able to help you outside of Wisconsin and Illinois. So Right now, if you look at the YouTube, right, you will see the phone number. But if you like to talk to me, it'll be sorry, paid consultation. So just contact us if you need, if you're looking for attorney. Okay. Okay, AJ, right? Your kind of inquiry is like a condensed. So I'm not sure whether I can answer your question now, right? Uh, and then okay. So I'll do my best. Okay, so it's about asylum application, right? And then looks like you are married, right? And then you have a child, right? And then whether you can help them because you can add them as derivative, right? Asylum applicants. I'm not sure whether you have affirmative asylum with the USCIS or defensive asylum with the immigration court. Maybe your asylum application was approved, right? So you're asylee. Looks like that's the case. And then you like to apply for a green card because when your asylum application is approved, you need to wait 1 year, right, to apply for yourself. And then if your spouse overseas, then you can file 730 petition for them. So AJ, your inquiry that requires a paid consultation with me. We would be happy to help you, but that much I can tell you today. Okay, so sorry that it's kind of a little bit limited, but I think that you're asking that you're asylee, and then you wonder whether you can add your or file a petition for your wife and children. Okay, so that's my guess. Okay, now the questions piling up. Okay, so Jenna asked, interesting question, and then it's honest, good question. So she's asking, right? Like, do we charge differently if you're in California, New York, because you're out of state, and then cost of living is high? We don't. We go with a nationwide rate. So maybe we're the only one. I know that attorneys in California, West Coast and East Coast, you may find some on marriage green card case like charging still 1,600 up to like 10,000 or 15,000. Or we're not too cheap, too high, but we go with nationwide rate. We offer installment payment plan too. So Jenna, if you're looking for marriage green card attorney, you can find us, call us, okay? Or I can do paid consultation. So the short answer is that we offer nationwide rate for all cases, all cases. But obviously, right? The removal defense is different situation because let's be honest, okay? Nothing personal, but if you're in Georgia, for example, it's more challenging, right, than Chicago. That's reality. Or Texas. So we don't do nationwide. I mean, we'll try to do nationwide rate. So, but just be aware. But when it comes to marriage green card case, it doesn't really matter whether you're in Georgia or Texas for us because we know what to do. We're highly successful. Okay. So excellent questions. Okay. So Sita, right? Stop. Sorry, butchering your first name. So either you or your sorry, your spouse permanent resident, and then you potentially have F2A case, right? So then spouse or permanent resident, how long does it take? It takes 3 to 5 years. May take longer, 3 to 5 years. It's lengthy process. Okay. So sorry, I think that I need to drink a lot of water today. Circling back to N400 updates. By the way, the topic for this live stream is marriage green card case. I used to do marriage green card case and Trump immigration. Maybe go back to this later, but for now, I'm gonna do this every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. And the main topic is marriage green card case, but all immigration, U.S. immigration topics inquiries welcome, and I'm gonna discuss them. But circling back to N400 naturalization one more time. So previously today, right, and then my video explain that the USCIS will apply, strengthen good moral character, and then I explain. I'm not gonna repeat one more time. Also, they added what they call neighborhood investigation. So, this was required up until 1990s, and they're not doing anymore, but we're gonna do it again. So, what do you mean? So, basically, according to this new regulation, unless you submit a letter or affidavit or employment verification letter from your employer, they may talk to your employer. Like, why? They like to make sure that what you're saying on your application is real. So if you don't submit employment verification letter, they may contact. Well, I mean, Unsuk John, I do it every Wednesday. What do you mean? Like, you say do every Wednesday? Please, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do every Wednesday. Okay, but circling back to neighborhood investigation. So unless you submit employment verification letter, USCIS may call your employer. What if your employer doesn't answer? Right? It's scary. Or you work for a large company and they call your employer and say like, I don't know that person. Anything's possible. So what I'm trying to tell is that just do it affirmatively, and that's required. So that's number one. But what if you're not working? You're homemaker, right? So it's like negative factor, sadly, right? So according to heighten good moral character, you're supposed to work, but you're a homemaker because maybe your spouse making a lot of money. Maybe you go to school. Uh, the cat name Rosie. Rosie. Okay. Uh, Rosie is sleeping. She's enjoying the day. Okay. Now, but just let's not distract it. Okay. Focus on what I need to tell because I have about 5 minutes left. Okay. So if you're a homemaker because you go to school, your spouse making a lot of money, or you have a children, then maybe if you have a children, then you need to submit your children's in the birth certificate. That's required anyway. And then if you volunteer for their schools, right, as a parents, you should submit a letter from your children's school that you've been volunteering on a regular basis. Okay, so that's the employment. The second one is that you need to get potentially second letter from your friends and family. Say like basically, I'm just making up. Your name is Joshua, and then like say I'm a Joe, and then Joshua is my neighbor. He's a wonderful person. We watch Bears game every Sunday, something like that. So and then we hang out, sort of like support letter. So you probably need this. Maybe get a letter from CPA or your bank, right? So like, that's a good idea too. So that's all required. So more than ever, right? N400 application became more difficult. So just make sure that you follow this, right? Also, if you happen to claim to be a U.S. citizen in the context of employment, mortgage application, college application, credit card application, and then your job application, you need to think twice about applying for adjustment of the status and N400 because, in many cases, there's no case. Finally, when it comes to N400, if you ever claim to be U.S. citizen falsely, right, then according to this new regulation, then your case will be denied and you'll be placed into automatically removal proceeding. So when you're placed into removal proceeding, can you survive it? I mean, usually you have a 42A cancellation or removal option, but that does not really, deal with this false claim to U.S. citizen. But having said that, thank you so much for joining this. I believe that Wednesday is way better than Thursday because Thursday schedule is more challenging than Wednesday. So thank you so much for joining this, especially for those of you who join from TikTok. I know that you send me direct messages, but if you like to talk to me or need attorney, the better route is to check my paid scheduling link on my profile, and then you schedule one for me. Then I'll talk to you. So thank you so much for joining. I hope that you had a peaceful conversation or listening with me. I'm Attorney Jae Francis. I'm based in Chicago, Wisconsin. Obviously, U.S. immigration lawyer, but serve all 50 states. I enjoy talking to you, and then I will see you next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much for watching this. Rosie is still sleeping. I'm going to check on her. Yes, she's awake. She's showing her beautiful face. Hi, Rosie. Can you say goodbye? No? Okay. Anyway, thank you so much.